32 rebounds for Kuminga in 4 games. How important is that?
JK has been fantastic.
Missing that three. Kuminga! Look at him on the glass!
It just feels like he's found his spot with this group.
Post for 3. And Kuminga working that offensive glass. It's all JK getting to rebounding school. He's been amazing.
The way he's rebounding, the way he's attacking the rim, that's what makes him special. Like his athleticism, his force.
Highlight reel plays night after night. Kuminga with the left hand this time. We'll talk about it.
He's playing to that talent, to that ability. It changes our team and it changes his game. So he's been great.
The Golden State Warriors mopped the floor with the Memphis Grizzlies in one of the most electrifying performances by the team's young core.
It's huge. Like it's you got me, Draymond, Jimmy, trying to be the anchors, but when you have JK playing the way he has to start the year, BP starting to figure out his spots and his confidence and keeping things simple. Now that you got Mo back, you got another guy that can space the floor, knock down shots.
Great dot, baby.
Spearheaded by Jonathan Kuminga's passing and rim pressure, Moses Moody's lights-out shooting, and Brandin Podziemski finally finding his rhythm, the Warriors' beatdown sent the Grizzlies scurrying up Bear Mountain. But does this win even matter? Does beating Memphis, a team that's been gutted of its best shooter in Desmond Bane and even their antagonist Dillon Brooks in their peak years, mean anything in the grand scheme? While they're not exactly a threat to win a championship, the Grizzlies are still an extremely talented team. Between Jaren Jackson Jr. and Ja Morant, they still have the ability to surprise a lot of teams in the West. With Morant's history of injuries and his controversies behind him, the only thing that can stop the former number 2 overall pick at this point is a shooter. I mean like Stephen Curry, or in this case, both Pods and Moody. But prior to the hot shooting, something sparked the fire for Golden State. No matchup between the Warriors and Grizzlies is complete without Draymond Green working the crowd and mocking his opponents. And without hesitation, he delivered.
This ball free throws.
Shaking Santi Aldama's confidence to practically zero as he taunted him during free throws and scolding his son Jaren Jackson for backtalking. But something shocking happened that made this so different from the game against the Blazers, and there's only one way to find out. So get ready. You're about to get The Warriors made a shocking decision before game time that left almost everyone puzzled, but not surprised. With Al Horford unavailable due to a bigger necessity for the second leg against the Clippers, Steve Kerr reinserted Pods into the starting lineup. Not only that, but the first play the Warriors drew up was for a Podziemski 3 at the wing. To mine and practically everyone's surprise, the shot was wetter than Melissa. The Category 5 hurricane storming Southside Jamaica as we speak. Stay safe, Aunt Jackie. While Pods had struggled in the Warriors' first 3 games, in game number 4 with confidence from Steve Kerr, he had his first good game of the season. With 23 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds, and 5 of 7 made threes and a plus 17 on the night in 32 minutes, Brandin looked as good as he did at any point last season. While his shots falling had a big impact, recall he was only averaging a single assist up to this point, so having 6 in one game is kind of a big deal. The question about his shooting was never about whether or not he could, as he came into the league shooting 43% in college, and no, it wasn't a fluke. It did seem at times like he forced a couple of shots that would have gotten anyone else not named Pods a seat on the bench. But it paid off, as he was relatively consistent throughout the game. Despite this, however, it might still be a better look for him to be on the second unit, and here's why.
Mo came in. Huge energy for us, so that's how you get through a regular season.
Moses Moody, in just his second game, came back scorching hot. It wasn't just Pods, as Moody came off the bench and hit 5 of 7 threes as well. With a release that seemed to have gotten even quicker, he's hitting these with zero hesitation off the catch and making it seem effortless. Compared to Pods' situation, every minute that Moses Moody gets is a minute that he's earned twice over. If he's in the starting lineup, it's because he's directly contributing to winning, and even then, he might still come off the bench. In only 22 minutes, as Kerr is slowly bringing Moody up to speed, he had a lightning-quick 20 points, 2 blocks, and 1 steal. The type of complementary scoring and floor spacing you'd want to have next to Steph Curry to keep the defense true. On top of that, he's bringing it at the other end of the floor as well, sending Walmart Ja Morant to the rafters. Did he stop there? Of course not. This next play was probably what drove Draymond to establish his dominance as a defender and not have to lose his D card to Moses Moody. A full month before you're allowed to hunt turkeys, and Moses Moody is shamelessly stuffing Santi Aldama in front of a crowd at Chase Center. Someone please tell Moody that Santi is actually from Spain. A two-way Moody is the closest thing you can get to a player of pre-injury Clay's caliber currently on the roster. Similar archetype, but different talent level at this point. However, with Jimmy Butler and the next player we're about to discuss, Steph Curry doesn't need much more than that. After a summer of the worst type of slander I've ever seen an NBA player endure, to see JK come out on the other side as one of the best young players in the league with the opportunity to be a major component of a championship team is absolute poetry. Seeing as he's moved on from that saga and has become better for it, let's hope the rest of us can do the same and appreciate what this young player brings to the Golden State Warriors.
Seeing him really figure things out off the court too, like just mentality-wise and being able to be okay with different situations, it's really impressive to me. This summer was cool for whatever the drama was, but him getting here and the attitude, the energy that he had, even when stuff wasn't going his way, the person that he was able to be, the way he played on the court.
In what could be described as his best game of the season, Jonathan Kuminga put up 25 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 assists while making 7 of 8 free throws, ending the night at a plus 15 in 32 minutes. It should have been 5 assists, however, a coach's challenge saw them overturn JK's 5th, a short roll assist to Will Richard, and made it an offensive foul on the drive instead. A small but subtle fact is that Steve Kerr has been quietly matching roughly 90% of JK's rotation minutes with Steph Curry's. With 3 wins and only 1 loss, it's clear that these guys play well together, despite narratives to the contrary. The truth was then and has always been, we haven't given these guys enough runway to make use of an opportunity. This led to a lot of premature conclusions. The same sentiment applies to JK and Jimmy's and even Draymond's minutes, although to a lesser degree due to the positional overlap. You can see in real time the integration of JK's full game into the Warriors' schemes. With Steph, Jimmy, and Draymond, his job is lockdown defense. He was tasked with guarding Ja Morant and kept him contained well enough. This while Pods, Curry, and Jimmy all got going as they kept getting open looks. By the time JK became aggressive, he basically had a clear passage to the rim as the floor opened up. He has future franchise cornerstone written all over him. It's up to Steve Kerr at this point to give him the room to grow, and so far, it seems like he's willing. The Warriors were able to do all this without so much as a peep from their best defender at the 5, Al Horford. D'Anthony Melton is still out and Steph Curry has yet to enter the building. Just a few years ago, during the Sharish era, the Warriors played 20 games before one other player aside from Steph hit 20 points. 20 games into the season! 4 players hit 20 or more points in the 4th game against the Grizzlies, and none of them were named Steph. Steph himself didn't even hit 20 points. And this is how you can tell that this team has options. If you recall last year, one of the major points I tried to hit home was that the team needed a properly integrated JK in order to win a championship. These first few games of the season is what that looks like. At this point, I have some confidence in the non-Steph Curry minutes. However, this is contingent upon the return of Melton, addition of Steph, and the consistency of Pods. If we can get what Melton gave the Warriors last year for a longer period, or Pods can continue to play like he did last night, the Warriors can keep Steph rested while still winning a majority of their games. Imagine a fresh Steph, Jimmy Butler, a post-All-Star break Jonathan Kuminga, that is, when he really gets rolling, because let's be honest, this part of the season he's just getting warmed up. A motivated Draymond, Moses Moody making that leap to the next level as it seems, and Al Horford doing what we know he's capable of doing. It should be obvious to anyone watching what this all means. But I digress. There's a lot of discussion surrounding why Jonathan Kuminga is playing this way and whether or not it's growth or if he simply refused to do this before when he could. The answer is a third option. This is a huge credit to JK, who's no longer pressing in a contract year and Jimmy, who's been mentoring him for some time now, despite what we've seen transpire over the summer. Jimmy's approach as a young player was defense first and getting your teammates involved. Get in the paint for a layup or get fouled and get to the line and make your free throws. He has this down to a science. JK just made 12 in a row. This is the same approach that Jimmy plays with currently, and it works. As a matter of fact, the entire team welcomed JK back and are happy to have him return to the team. We've all seen what a fractured locker room does to a team, and this season the Warriors locker room is clearly healthy and talented. This team not winning a championship this season would actually be very surprising. The pieces are all in place. The only variable that remains is how Steve Kerr uses them. What are your thoughts on the team's young squad? Which of these guys do you think should be the future? One of them, two, or all three? And don't forget Will Richard, DeSantos, and Trace as well when you post your responses in the comments below. And thanks for watching. Till next time, swish!